want to appreciate you openly. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for saying yes to this. I don't take it for granted at all, and I really do appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so
So
much for
yeah,
having me.
all right, all right. So we'll get into it because I know that we do not have a lot of time. I wouldn't also want to take your time. And just like we mentioned, we're talking about intentional leadership, um, leading with intentions, leading with clarity. And I was telling someone, and I think I posted it also on my status just before now, that a lot of time, some of us we are very quick to name people. Oh, that person is not a good leader, until we actually find ourselves there. I don't want to say so much, but I want you to just tell us about yourself. I'm going to relax. I'm not going to ask a lot of questions. I want you to just talk to us. Yeah, I want you to just speak to us, teach us, and if there's anywhere I want to come in, I will just let you know. But you can just start by telling us about yourself, about your journey to leadership, and why you choose to make um, leadership, because I see that that's your niche, that's what you pay attention to. So just tell us about yourself, your journey to leadership, and why you decided to make leadership your niche. And then you can go ahead and talk to us about whatever it is that you have for us tonight. And if there's anywhere I want to come in, I'm going to come in. So the
Wow.
floor is yours. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're
First of
welcome.
all, let me say good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. I really appreciate our host today for having me for this important conversation because I
Yeah.
strongly believe that anything leadership is important and it's an important conversation. So it's an honor to speak to our audience, whether you're a professional, a middle manager, entrepreneur, emerging leader, whichever one you fall into. I welcome
Yeah.
you tonight, all right, or this afternoon. So for me, I'm right now in Western Africa time. I'm in Nigeria right now, so I'm going to focus on tonight. Okay. So the topic is intentional leadership,
Yeah.
and I'm going to kind of share a little bit about my journey. And I strongly believe that intentional leadership is very critical. In fact, everything I do today started with intentional leadership because leading yourself first matters if you want to lead others. Leading yourself first matter. In fact, you can't lead others successfully if you are not leading yourself. And in fact, there are several levels to leadership. So I'm going to major on this first level, leading yourself, because it's very much foundational. And my journey started with that. I strongly believe that you cannot lead others until you have learned to lead yourself, until you have learned to equip yourself. So let me start with that. I remember that Harvard Business School review released uh, a review one time, and they said that the number one predictor of leadership failure isn't technical skill, but the lack of self awareness. The number one predictor of leadership failure is not technical skill, but the lack of self awareness. So my leadership started with self awareness. I was able to meet myself. And when I met myself, my life never remained the same again. I mean, think about that. Many leaders today, I mean, I work with leaders in organizations, in government, in ministry. Many leaders today struggle not because they lack intelligence, passion, or even resources, but because they never built the inner systems. to support external leadership. What does that really mean? It means they never focus on integrating the systems within for them to tap into the opportunities and the capabilities externally. And this is why intentional leadership matters. Because many times we want things to be beautiful on the outside. Everybody wants things to be great on the outside. Everybody wants to lead on the outside. Everybody wants to be in charge on the outside. Naturally,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we are designed for that. We want to be in charge. We want to lead. We have the DNA. It's within. And that's natural and it's normal. However, because you have the natural ability to lead does not mean you know how to lead.
Mm.
Because
Right.
leadership is is a skill set. It's a mindset that can be learned. It's a skill set and a mindset that can be learned.
I
In
comprehend.
fact, I was having a session on the TV station a few days ago, and I was sharing with them that most of the MBA classes that we see today, most of them, I don't want to mention names. I mean, I've been through one. Most of them, they teach management, not leadership.
True.
And they are two different things. And they charge a lot of money. And when people are done, they say, I well,
Mm.
leadership is not a certification. I'm sorry. It's not.
Mm.
Just like leadership is not a title. It's not about certification. So intentional leadership starts from within. That's what I'm talking about. It starts from within. So let me begin this. I mean, let me bring this home with my own story because it's important for us to know where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
know how I started, to know how I made some decisions because leadership is about decisions. It's important to make critical decisions. So everything for me started in 2006. Until 2006, I was just, doing my things the way I wanted to do stuff. I wanted more. I wanted to be successful, right? However, I didn't know the right way to do it. I didn't come from, I'm not from a very wealthy family. I came from an average family where leadership was not the normal language, right? It wasn't a culture. Wonderful parents, but just unfortunately, it was not a culture. It was not a language. Okay, in quotes. So fast forward in 2008, 2009, when I went for my NYC, then I remember something when I entered this. For those who are joining us outside Nigeria, okay, this is a 1 year mandatory um, program, national program after graduation in a university, okay. So I made a personal decision. Remember, I said intentional leadership is about decision. So
Decisions. Yeah.
I made a decision. I picked up two books, two books. Number one, The Parable of Dollars by Dr. Sam Adeyemi. And number two, I
Mm.
picked up Why Ask Why by John Mason. I decided to read those two books. And then I added, I decided to study deeply the Gospel of John in the Bible. I'm a believer. So I just wanted to study that. So I studied these three, focused on them for 1 year. I didn't know much. I was saving every allowance, drinking Gary to survive. Okay? But I invested intentionally into my mind. I was
Mm.
focusing on my mind. Can I
Mm.
surprise you? Something shifted. I developed a conviction. And what was that conviction? That if I can lead myself, if I can influence others and add value everywhere I go, my life will never remain the same. So I had that conviction that I can lead myself, I can influence others, and I can add value wherever I go. That was the shift. That seed was planted in me. So that made me to believe in myself. That made me to meet myself. When I studied these three powerful contests from the book written by Dr. Sam, by John Mason, and when I studied the Gospel of John. So let me just quickly, fast forward that about my story. I remember during that NYSC, after the graduation in Kogi State, I served with passion. I decided to
Mm.
implement some of these things I learned
Just for
from
bread.
these books because it's about intentionality, it's about taking action, it's about making decisions. Leadership is not theory, it's practical.
Mm.
It's not about what you say because people do what people see. Leadership
Yeah.
is not about what you say, it's about what you
What
do.
you do.
All right, it's about action, it's about execution. So I
Yeah.
was intentional by impacting lives because remember my conviction that I can lead myself, I can influence others, and I can add value wherever I go. So I made a decision to add value in that community. I did 22 projects in that community. Even till today,
Wow.
sometimes I ask myself, how did I do that? Where did I
Wow.
get the money from? Because I made a move, I began to add value to people, and then other people joined me in making great things happen. Here is the thing. When you
Yeah.
move, people will move with you.
Mm.
When you take action, the whole world, just start dancing, just start playing the music. They will all, in fact,
Very true.
just start burning, and the whole world will start, looking at you burning. They want to see you burning. They want to see you. They want to see that music in you. Everybody's waiting. Wow, I didn't know that then, right? I just started adding value and everybody joined me. Wow, wow. People contributed money to support the vision.
Wow.
Well, to cut the long story short, every challenge I met became an opportunity to grow for me. So eventually, my service caught attention. I received a handshake from then President Goodluck Jonathan, because of the value I added in that community. And I received a congratulatory letter from the governor then from Kogi State. Eh, Um, our audience tonight, remember, I didn't start with a title.
Yeah.
It happened because I intentionally led myself first. By doing what? By adding value to myself, by reading, by studying, by receiving, by having that shift. And everything happened because I developed myself internally. I took care of my inside first. And everything on the outside started to move
Follow.
around. Yeah, everything started to settle. The whole thing started to just happen because I was bigger
Yeah.
on the outside. So the outside
Mm-hmm.
was now looking for ways to catch up with my inside,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And that's why the principle remains. If you are bigger on the outside and you are smaller on the inside, hey, please listen to this. Don't miss this. See, it's a matter of time. You will crash. But if
Mm.
you are
Mm.
bigger on the
Mm.
inside, okay? If you are
You
bigger on the
smile.
inside, it's also a matter of time. The outside will catch up with you.
Wow.
It will catch up because everything on the outside will start, putting,
Together.
themselves together to catch up with your inside. That's why we need to build ourselves within. Like every day I tell people I read. Every day I write. I'm flying from Lagos to Abuja. I have my books. I'm reading. Why? Because my business, my work is about people. People call me. I do coaching, we do consulting for organizations. I speak, every day. I'm into people business. So I have to be ahead. I have to be ahead. My life is about transformation. So if I'm not transformed, how can I help others to become transformed? Because I cannot give what I don't have. So you cannot give what you don't have. So let me quickly say this, and I can allow you to maybe ask questions, and if our viewers also have some questions, okay?
Yes,
Um, Let me quickly say this: why most leaders struggle when it comes to intentional leadership. And I want to say this with all sincerity because of my study, because of my relationships with leaders in different sectors, right? Both public and private sector, and especially emerging leaders. Why they struggle? Let's talk about you. I've talked about me, right? Okay, as
yes,
we're talking about how leaders struggle, I want you to personalize this because now we want to talk about you and many other leaders out there. So many professionals feel tired. Many leaders feel tired, frustrated, and even betrayed. They feel betrayed. And this is true. They have poured themselves into their teams and they don't feel supported. Okay? Let's keep it real. They carry the weight of everyone's decision. And interestingly, they are asking themselves, am I too soft?
mm,
Should I protect myself more? Uh, is this leadership worth it? They're asking themselves those questions. These are questions I see leaders ask. Sometimes they ask me, all right? But I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me clearly. When it comes to this kind of a challenge, one of the biggest issues I see here is what I call misalignment. And misalignment often feel like betrayal. What I just said that is important. Most leaders don't understand this. Misalignment often feel like betrayal. For example, if your team members, let's say you are a middle manager, okay? You are a middle management in your organization right now. So let me use that as a case study. If people that you are leading are misaligned, they are not aligned, it will look like betrayal because they will not give their best because they are not well positioned. So for you are trying your best and you are waiting for them to give the best, but unfortunately they cannot give their best because they are not rightly positioned. It's like training, and it's like training a squirrel that naturally the squirrel climbs the tree, right? And you are saying the squirrel should now be running like the rabbit. Okay? So the squirrel is not well positioned. It's not wired to do that. Position people according to their giftings, experiences, and talent. Very key. So, but it 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 is unusual. Okay, let me put it this way. It is usually a sign that systems need restructuring when we see issues like that. So let me quickly bring it home. Leadership is not about doing more. Intentionality is not about doing more. Okay? It's about designing better systems. And that system could be for your life, for your team, or for your organization. So it could be for your own life because many people don't have personal life systems that can help them to become better. For example, there are three types of patterns in life. Three types of patterns, or we can call it three levels of patterns. Number one pattern is what I call pattern recognition. People don't understand pattern, that the reason why they are not successful or the reason why they are struggling is because they don't understand pattern. They've not recognized pattern. They've not studied history to know, okay, people who did this in the past, how did they do it? People who did it in the past, okay, they failed when they tried this and eventually they succeeded when they moved this way. Have you studied history? Have you studied pattern? What works and what did not work? Whether you are in business, whether you are in ministry or you are in government. All right, or maybe for your own personal life. In business, we call it culture. For personal life, we call it habits. So,
Exactly.
have you studied pattern? Okay. Number two, pattern usage. So once you study pattern, study what worked and what did not work. So that helped you to know what not to do and then what to do. Okay? And then use pattern, use what you have studied. Okay? There's nothing new under the sun. We don't have to be reinventing the wheel. When we wanted to start a conference in the US, Moe conference, moving from ordinary to extraordinary life, we were intentional. I called my team and I said, let's study 7 powerful conferences, successful conferences, global conferences, 7 of them. Let's study what they did right and what they did wrong. If I called some of their conveners, and I was surprised, some of the things they told me. And we all came together because we studied pattern and then we started using pattern. Okay. The third one is what I call the pattern creation. So what we discovered that we started using, we now created our own systems. Pattern creation. You can create your own. All right. You can create your own model. That's what people do in PhD. They study history, they use history, and then they create their own philosophy and they give them PhD. That's what they do, right? Basically. So you can do, you in fact, you can create your own PhD program for your own life. Anything you do, just follow that principle: pattern recognition, pattern usage, and pattern creation. Okay, design better systems for your own life. Anything you do in life, it's a principle that works. I use it every time in business and it works. So should I pause there? Because as I was talking, I was thinking about
Yeah.
intentional leadership, just to kind of define it in 3 ways briefly.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
we'll
just
come
define it
together.
in three
Yeah.
ways briefly, because I think this is going to be helpful in addition to the pattern
Yeah.
levels I just mentioned. So let me simplify intentional leadership in three ways. Uh, you can use this for your own personal life, for your business, for your family. You can also use it in your organization. Okay, number one is clarity. For you to be intentional to lead yourself, in order to lead others, you need clarity. In other words, self-awareness for your own personal life. In a team and an organization, clarity. So you must know where you are taking your people if you are leading people. If you are not leading people, let's say you are an individual contributor, okay, you must know where you are going yourself. You must be clear about your next 5 years, your next 10 years. And that helps you to make some decisions today. Because if you don't understand where you are going, every road will take you there. And that's why many people say yes to many things that they're supposed to say no to, because they are not intentional. Vision is in phases. When you don't understand where you are going, it it affects your decisions today, because you won't know the kind of decision you should make. You won't know things, situations you're supposed to say yes to, and those you're supposed to say no to. Saying no to some things is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. In fact, it's strength. I tell people, saying no to some things is huge. It's strength. It's not a weakness, because you are clear about your journey. You know where to go. There are some places I don't go, right? There are
Yeah.
some places you won't meet me and you won't find me there. You know why? Because they are not connected to my purpose and the vision. So I won't be there.
Right.
Sorry. If you are looking for me, you won't find me there. There are places where you will find me. So to find me, you need to go to those places. Like
Mm.
today, someone called my wife and that, oh, I saw your husband today. at Daystar Christian Center, right? She was like, "Why didn't you say hi to him?" Say, "Oh, I just saw him, right? He was talking to the resident pastor." I said, "Oh, okay. Why? Because that's where I will be. I will be in that kind of environment, right? And I will be having
Yeah.
conversations with that kind of people. So there are places I won't be. So if you have clarity about your life, that helps you to know what to say no to. Number one, clarity. Number
Correct.
two, alignment. Let me use a team as a case study. You build systems that make people succeed. You build systems that make people succeed because you are not the asset. Hey, if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business today. Hey, can you listen to this? You should never be the asset of your business. Your business should be the asset. Never build your business on personality. Build your business on systems and structures so that when you are not there, the business can continue to run without you. Alignment. Aligning the objectives with the goals and the vision, and everybody's aligned with their deliverables. You build systems that make people succeed. Don't build it on yourself, because if you build it on yourself, you will always be the answer. Everybody will be looking for you to be the answer. And you know what? You will burn out.
Mm.
Then carry that road.
Right.
Then align your life with your vision. Okay? You need to be loud about your vision, right? Imagine our host today said, "This is what you represent, leadership. This is what you talk about." Now, we have never discussed that, but somehow she recognized that. Maybe because she discovered that, oh, this is what he talks about. I'm loud about that. Somehow, when I make a post, the post is connected to my passion, to my life. I just want to support people. I just want to help someone. You never know. Sometimes people text me from India, from China. "Oh, Wally, thank you." I don't know them, but I'm adding value to them wherever they are. That's what we should be doing. Everybody should make adding value to our world a priority, making the world a better place. So alignment number two. Number three, intentional leadership, multiplication. You have to think about multiplying yourself. So your job is as a leader is not to collect followers. I know we're in the days of followership, right? On social media. I get it. But that's not leadership. Your job is not to collect followers. Your job is to raise other leaders. If you are using your platform to raise other people, you are leading. But if you are using your platform, even if you have 1 million followers, to destroy lives, that's not leader. That's not true leadership. So multiplication, your job is to multiply others. But can I say this? You cannot multiply others if you are not leading yourself. So everything starts with
From
you. You
you.
must first lead yourself, equip yourself before you can start leading and equipping others. So let me quickly pause with this statement said by John C. Maxwell. A leader's greatest success is not what they accomplish, but who they develop. And that requires intentionality.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I start from the beginning that I didn't come tonight to to ask questions. I didn't want to interview. I came to learn myself. I came to learn myself sincerely because, like you said, I've seen what you do, I've seen what you talk about, and I'm like, no, this is someone that we should learn from. And once again, I want to thank you for coming here tonight. And in fact, most of the things that I've written out here, you basically touched on everything. But there's one thing I want to ask you, and please, if you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. Um, in your journey to leadership, right? I know you mentioned burnout, you mentioned sometimes you're tired, you're frustrated.
Mhm.
Then there's this thing I want to ask, that how were you able to undo, is it rejection? how were you able to handle failures? Because I know that in your journey from the time that you started till now, I'm sure you've experienced it all. So how are you able to still pick yourself up even when things were not working? You've done everything, you've read, you've prayed as a believer, you followed the right process, and you believe that for me personally, I have done everything that I am supposed to do, but things still did not go out. Probably you have teams failure, or your teams were not supportive, like you mentioned. Like so many failures that will come in one way or the other. How were you able to handle all these things, and how can people handle these things?
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Interesting question. I love this because I love to talk about failures, right? Um, if you want to know a true leader, um, we should ask them about their stories. I should ask them about the forests of failures in their backyard.
Hmm.
Because every great leader has a forest of failures in their backyard. And many times
Wow.
we just see their front yard, where you see beautiful flowers, right? You're coming into the house and you see beautiful flowers, and everybody believes that everything is just like that and everything started that way. No, check the backyard. You see the forests of failures. Here's the thing: I have failed many times, and I'm not afraid to fail because it's not failure, it's an opportunity to learn. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Because I turn every failure to an opportunity to do it better in a more intelligent way. So I look for better ways to do things. So I try, I test, because I want to always test to try something, right? So I fail, I learn, I improve, and I do it again. That's my own process. I test, okay, trying it. I fail, which is okay. For me, I've taken failure as okay, it's my friend, okay. I I learn, I improve, and then I do it again. Right? For me, I I call it innovation system. Innovation system. Every form of innovation goes through that process. So I've come to realize that business is not equals to leadership. That's the biggest leadership myth. I was a busy guy. You talked about burnout. Now I'm going to address that. I was a very busy guy. Oh my, oh busy. You know, and, and as I was busy, I was proud of it that I'm busy. I tell people I'm busy, but no results to show, right? Because I was lacking leadership. I was focusing on management because management is all about efficiency. Leadership is all about effectiveness. So I was focusing on efficiency, not effectiveness. I was not effective,
Wow.
right? So
Wow.
being busy is not leadership. I was not leading myself. I was just listening to the voice of others. Like, get out there and go and get it done. So I did not understand the principle of productivity, high productivity. So being needed by everyone is not leadership. Okay? When everybody needs
Mm.
you, it's not leadership. That means you don't have clarity. Everybody
Wow.
cannot be looking for you. Abba now.
Wow.
Eh? If
Wow.
everybody's looking for you, you are not leading yet. That means you don't have
Mm.
clarity. I don't
Wow.
expect everybody to be looking for me. Okay? But if you really want to become a better leader, yeah, they will look for me. That's my domain. And when you become successful in an area of life, you will become needed in other areas of life. So focus on your own area of life and go deep in that area. The world will notice you. Imagine many actors today, they focus on acting, but right now, many of them, they are not making their money from acting. They are making their money from many endorsements
Yeah. True.
because they are successful actors. So they are needed in other areas of life. They
Okay.
are looking for them in marketing. Many products are following them and they're paying them good money. Look at the footballers. They focus on soccer or football. And then suddenly many you see iPhone looking for them. You see Samsung looking for them. They are signing billions of dollars, deals. Why? Because they are successful in an area of life,
That's
and they are now needed in other areas of
all
life.
the
So being needed by everyone, okay, is not leadership. Focus on your own lane and become successful there. Study everything you
wow.
can. Learn from
Wow.
everyone you can. Study pattern, use it and create yours and become successful there. Others will be looking for you.
Mm.
You don't pursue purpose, you attract quality people into your life when you focus on your purpose. You don't see, purpose is not something you just keep on pursuing. Align your life towards your purpose and you start attracting. There are many people I never invited that I've attracted in my life just because I'm focused on purpose. And
Yeah.
I'm intentional about putting myself in the right room. All right? Because your network is your net worth. You have to be positioned in the right room. Sometimes I pay to get into the right room. That's intentional leadership. You have to be intentional. Pay to be in the right room. For example, we have a summit coming up in July 26th in Lagos
July.
at the Marriott Scalable Leadership Summit. And some people are saying, "Oh, this is so expensive." I say, you know what? It's not cheap to be in the right room. In fact, this is a token, 160,000 naira. 160,000 naira. I say, if I tell you what I pay to be in the right room, do you know the people you will meet in that room that day? I'm like, you know what? Forget the money you need. You want to buy a new phone? Forget it. Be in that room. You will
Yes.
become a supplier of phones when you meet the right
Mm.
people, not the phone you need today. I'm just using it as an example. So
I know. I know.
leadership is building clarity, building trust, building systems that allow others to thrive even when you are not physically present. So it helps you for your own personal clarity, for your team's
Yes.
clarity. Even when you fail, things will still come back to normal because failure should be normal. It should be an opportunity to do it in a more intelligent way. Okay, now you know why it won't work. Okay, all right, you know what you should not do. So because you know what you shouldn't do, that helps you to know what to do. So for me, it's okay. In fact, I prefer to hang out with someone who is failing, who does not know the solution yet, than someone who does not take action at all. That is a complete failure.
Wow.
Yeah, people who don't execute, they are the failures, not those who are executing who are missing it. Because one day that person that is missing it will get it right. One day, it's okay to miss it. Oh, it's okay to miss it. Go and ask basketballers. It's okay to miss it. It's okay.
Wow.
So, basically, it's okay to fail. It's okay to miss it. It's okay to try, and just make sure that you try, you learn something. If you don't learn something, it's failure. If you learn something, it's an opportunity to become better. And your focus is to become better, refining ourselves part time, refining. I refine myself every time.
Exactly.
Sometimes I get into the room with my team, I shut up. I just want to
Mm.
listen to them. Hey guys, what should we do? You know what? Because I want them to make my good idea a great idea.
In 2 minutes. Yeah.
So when I share my good idea and I ask them, what do you think? And everybody starts talking. You know what? I just shut up. So if you are a leader out there leading people and you are the one talking the most, you are not leading yet. Shut up sometimes. Just listen to them.
Mm.
Why? Okay, you are an entrepreneur, you have a business. Why have you hired the people that you are leading? Why have you hired them? If you can do everything, why can't you do it? If have hired experts and you are still telling them what to do, right? You are missing it. Let them do their job, guide them, share the vision, make it clear, but make sure you have the right people on your team. Because if you have the wrong people,
Exactly.
you have the wrong people, sorry, no matter what you say, they won't add value. So make sure you have A
Exactly.
people, make sure you have A talent on your team. All right, people who can really
Thank
deliver the
you.
job, right? They are rightly positioned, and let them do their job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Because I still want you to talk about your conference coming up. But before we get to that, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about burnout. Yeah, I needed to still talk about it before we proceed.
Okay. Let me talk
Yeah.
about burnout because I've seen that happen many times. I've seen
Yeah,
leaders
especially to
stress.
leaders.
Yes, I've seen
Yes.
that stress. I've seen them, frustrated. I've seen leaders, not understanding how to move from chaos to clarity, moving from
Yeah.
stress to systems, and moving from being busy to building capacity. I've seen leaders in many, many forms. So when it comes to burnout, number one, burnout is not a bad thing. It's just an alert. Burnout is an alert that something is wrong. So let me start with that. Okay. So if you are experiencing burnout today, you need to be happy that now you know that something is wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Something is wrong. I need help. Okay. So that's cool. So if you are expressing burnout today, you are frustrated as a leader. 1 second. It seems like my phone is about to turn off. Let me just
Oh, okay,
get my
okay, okay,
charger. I need to quickly
okay.
get my charger. 1 second. Yeah.
All right. Guys, I know that you have heard it all. Please, if you have questions, just drop it. It's been an interesting conversation. That's personally, I decided not to interview because I want to learn myself. And it's something that I'll go back to and just listen to. So if you have any question, you can just drop it or in the comment section.
All
Okay. Are
right.
you good now? Okay.
Yeah, I think I am back now.
All right. All right.
Okay. I want to be well positioned. There you go. Okay.
All right.
So, burnout. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about burnout, I see many
Yeah.
leaders frustrated today because they don't really understand how to lead well. They are they are they are leading people according to their own knowledge, and that's okay. It's okay to start from where you are, but it's not okay to remain like the way you are today. Okay, so let me say something. Two researches that I observed lately. McKinsey research shows that 70% of change efforts fail due to leadership misalignment. 70% of change effort fail due to leadership misalignment. And I want to quickly share something about the reason why I'm saying that. Because um, many leaders burn out today because their teams and the people they are leading are misaligned. Because they are not well aligned, they
Yeah.
lack the right systems. So the leader is just working hard and being the answer every time. Most leaders don't understand the systems of delegation.
Yeah. That's
Deloitte
another thing.
Deloitte reports that companies with leadership pipelines grow 3 times faster and sustain growth longer. Companies with leadership pipelines. Most organizations don't create leadership pipelines. So the one in charge does not think about how to replace him or herself. The one in charge does not think on how to pour him or herself into other people. Sometimes people are afraid. They are wondering, what if they leave me? I understand. That's real. Someone might decide to leave you. It's okay. And you know why most people leave? Because they can't see themselves in what they are doing. They don't see the joy in what they are doing. and they don't feel purpose. They can't sense purpose in what they are doing. So when the leader does not let people see themselves in what they are doing, everybody is thinking, what is my own in it? So
Exactly.
if they can't see themselves, they can't see themselves in the future of the company, they will get out. And you as a leader, you will be burned out because you will be doing everything. So the wrong structure makes many leaders to burn out because they are not well structured. For me, I call it leadership that lasts must be scalable and not just charismatic. It must
Mm.
be scalable. Not everything is scalable. So for every leader tonight, when it comes to burnout, three things I want you to do. For middle managers, this is for middle managers, for business owners, for ministry leaders. Please hear your own personal leadership system. I want to give you this, and you can use this. I've used this personally. I use it for my leaders. I always share this with my leaders. All right. So number one, I'm going to give you 5 of them. Number one, lead your morning. Morning. Okay. Lead your morning. Start your day with reflection. All right. For me, I start with reflections, with prayer and journaling. I want to journal, document some things down. Start that way. You don't want to burn out? Start that way. Put yourself in order. Clarity for the day. Number 2, lead your calendar. You don't have to do everything. Some things are urgent, but not
Yeah.
important. They're not.
Wow.
In fact, some of them you can delegate them. You don't have to be there.
True.
Some things people will bring it to you as if it's very urgent. Hey, delegate it. There are some events I
True.
don't go to. What they need is my money, so I delegate because I don't want to kill myself. Once I
I
know it's
know,
my money
right?
they need, I send the money. So once the money is there, I'm there. All right. So what I'm saying is lead your calendar. Schedule growth, not just meetings. Do it for
Yeah.
your life, do it for your business, do it for your team. Schedule growth, not just meetings. There is a difference. There are many
Yeah.
meetings that should be cancelled that are not productive. So becoming better for your life or for your organization does not mean you should have more meetings. In fact,
True.
not more friends. Quality is more important than quantity. So schedule growth, not just meeting. Number 3, lead your conversations. Remember, I mentioned something the other time that as a leader, you don't just talk. So in leadership, level 2 leaders, they have some skills that are very important. Number 1, coaching. Number 2, mentorship. Number 3, creating team growth plan. And number 4, team alignment. Those 4 skills are very important for level 2 leaders, those who are leading teams. All right. So as a leader who is leading a small team or a big team, you must lead your conversations. How do you do that? Don't just talk, coach your people. Coaching is different from talking. Coaching is different from mentorship. A coach understands the right questions to ask so that people can think and create the answers by themselves. A coach is not the answer. A coach is the one who understands how to bring out the answer out of people by asking the right questions. That's a
Mm.
coach.
Wow.
And that's why a coach is not a consultant. A consultant will help you to do the job. A coach will not do the
True.
job for you.
True.
But a coach will guide you to do it and stay by you and be your accountability partner until you get the results. That's why coaching
Wow.
is important. Most people don't understand the essence of coaching.
Coaching.
Number 4, lead your development. This is one thing you cannot delegate. You can delegate everything else. Sorry, you can't delegate this one. You cannot. Lead your development. Learn one new leadership skills every 90 days. That's my own system. Every
Wow.
90 days, I look for one leadership skills I want to learn because I want to become better. I want to become better. Everyone can become a better leader. Everyone. So, what is one leadership skill that you can plan intentionally today that I want to learn the next 90 days? One, just one. Don't focus on
Wow.
two, just one. Then the next 90 days, another one. Then in the next 90 days, another one. And you'll be surprised at the end of the year, all right, the kind of value
Wow.
that you will have added to yourself. Then number five,
Right.
lead your teams. All right. You cannot remember I have lead your development first before leading your
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Lead
Okay.
your team.
That's
Yeah.
intentional. Okay. So because sometimes people want to lead others without leading themselves. All right. Jokingly I say this when I'm talking to politicians, because we don't need politicians in leadership. We need leaders in politics. So I tell them, I say, guys, we need leaders in politics, not politicians in leadership. The
In
reason why we
leadership.
are destroying,
That's right.
our our continent Africa is because we have politicians in leadership. Politicians think about the next election. Leaders think about the next generation. So we need leaders
Mm.
who are going to be in politics, who are going to be thinking about the next generation. Those who are thinking about
Yeah.
today, not the next election.
True.
So,
Wow.
I said, hey, my friends, what we need leaders. So I quickly tell them, you don't have a personal vision. Many times if you are close to many politicians, that's why we can't run away from them. Because if we run away from them, we can't help them.
True.
So when they call me sometimes or I chat with some of them, I try to challenge them. What's your own personal vision? What's your vision for the community? You will be surprised. They don't have it. They're trying to just figure things out. They don't know what to do. Why? Because they don't
Alright.
have personal vision.
Yeah, sure.
When
Sure.
someone does not have a personal vision, how do you expect the person to create a community vision, a
It's
state vision?
culture.
It doesn't start.
True.
It
True.
starts itself. They can't start on the
Wow.
outside. You cannot. You cannot reproduce what you are not.
It's not possible.
Cannot.
Wow.
So if you apply these five things, you will
Yeah,
immediately
yeah,
move
yeah.
into intentional leadership.
Leadership.
Every
Wow.
just follow these five. Remember,
Wow.
lead your money, lead your
Yeah.
calendar, lead your
Lead
conversations,
your
lead your
profession. Your
development, and lead your
development and lead
teams.
your.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Wale. In fact, I know that we can continue this. I don't want Instagram to throw us out. It's almost 1 hour. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I know that people have some questions. Guys, please, I want you to follow him. There's really no time. But just 1 minute, I think you can still talk about your just a minute. You can still talk about your conference coming up. I know
Okay.
there's a big conference coming up by July. You can just 1 minute, just talk about it,
Yeah, thank
just
you
because of time.
very much
I
for that.
would have wanted to talk more about it, but because of time, that's why I just
Yeah.
wanted to rush it up.
So I'll
Thank
just
you.
quickly summarize that. So I want to encourage everyone that is watching me, whether you are an emerging leader or you are leading your business or you are leading the government, agency, or you have influence in leading people because leadership is influence. All right. If you have the opportunity to lead people in any sector, I want to encourage you to be in the room, be in this room. All right. This is going to be life changing. Scalable Leadership Summit. Just go to
Yeah,
scalableleadershipsummit.com.
I'll post
Right.
it. Yeah, no problem.
Scalableleadershipsummit.com. That's it. Okay. You will see all
Yeah,
the
all
information
right.
there. You will see our powerful speakers that will be in the
Yeah,
room. And in fact, we're going to have surprises on that day. We're going to have some
all
special
right.
appearances on that day. There are some special
Thank
appearances that will just show
you.
up on that day, and people will be
Yeah,
shocked.
that we're not
What?
expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. So watch out.
Thank
Be in the room.
you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for agreeing to do this, even in your busy schedule. I really do appreciate. Guys, thank you for joining tonight. I really do appreciate everyone that came. And I believe that you have learned so much. I believe so. I'm going to report the video and so we can just watch and watch again. Thank you, everyone, and have a very beautiful night's rest. Thank you, Wale. I
Thank you
appreciate
all.
you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.